for entertainment purposes only. And if you want true legal advice, contact your own lawyer.
Now, I love to garden. I've always been a gardener. I grew up doing gardening. My mother was a great gardener. Oh, my gosh. And those of you who, a shout out to my cousin who's watching me Facebook Live. I love her to death, by the way. I don't want to mention her name because we're all over the country and she might not want her name. But she knows my mom, and my mom had the best garden, the vegetables. She made the best grape jelly you've ever had in your life. And we had fresh corn, tomatoes, everything was fresh, salsa, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what happens here is the individuals in Vermont, the government says, now you're required to compost. Not just turn stuff in, but you have to compost. So in your backyard, now you do have other options, but in your backyard, right, Denise, you can compost. Tell us about what they can do.
I just think the state is trying to reach a goal of 60% recycling through mandatory composting. I just can't see this being something that is going to be accepted. I think it's got to be challenged. But they have to handle rotten leftovers, such as peels, eggshells, seeds, pits, coffee ground, oil, all of that into a composting system to try to bring down and increase the recycling.
We'll be back.
And now, back to the show. Radio Law Talk and RadioLawTalk.com.
Yeah, we were talking about scraps in Vermont. So you got a compost, or here's the interesting thing. In the new law in Vermont, you can get what's called a green cone solar digester in your backyard, and where you can compost things. And by the way, that's pretty legit stuff. When you pull that out, man, you'd be shocked how well your plants grow after you compost. And you know what we used to do instead of compost? We didn't need to compost. Well, we did. We had this area we used to throw stuff, but we lived on 5 acres. My mom and dad would drive us boys down in our pickup, and there was a certain area, I'm not going to say it yet, where they had this tractor that had a bucket, and they'd dig this out and dump it in our pickup truck, and we go and manually spread it with the shovels. It was chicken manure.
I was going to say, it's got to be a manure pit.
Chicken manure. Oh, the word, you have no idea. Chicken manure will burn the skin off you. It is the most powerful stuff. You literally cannot put it on your plants. And the smart and good gardeners like my mother, you've got to mix it in lightly, and it'll burn. I mean, like horse manure does a little bit less, but you worry about grass getting in it. Or cow manure, but the issue,
volunteers,
issue of turkey or chicken manure is by far the best.
Nasty.
But it is so hot.
High nitrogen content, and it'll get you.
But I'm telling you, you'll see those things grow. But before they had all these great growing, what do you call it?
Fertilizers?
Yeah, what's the fertilizer? It's green. It's called
Miracle-Gro.
Miracle-Gro.
Yeah.
For Miracle-Gro, they had miracle turkey poop and chicken poop that I used to.
So you're telling me that if the zombie apocalypse happens and I have to defend myself,
fling it.
If I'm filling paper bags full of chicken manure, light it on fire and throw it, I'm good to go.
You don't have to light fire. You just throw it on them.
All right. Chemical burn. Or you could make chicken manure tea. Just dip it in water, put it in one of those blaster guns, future like that. Squirt them guns perfectly well.
So anyway, you can do that. You do that. You compost in Vermont. Also, you don't just have to compost in your backyard. In the law, ready for this? Or if you don't have a compost, you can go ahead and feed the scraps to the pigs. So you got the option, compost or feed it to the pigs. Or you can use compost professionals. So you got those 3 options.
Well, if you feed it to the pigs, so they say that cow flatulence increases global warming. Have they done any such study with pigs? And if you feed these to the pigs, are you not then damaging the environment by the
ozone?
Yes.
The traditional wisdom is taught that pigs will consume cow manure.
Okay.
And that chickens will consume pig manure. And that nothing will consume chicken manure.
That's right.
No creature known to man.
No, that stuff's good.
Sounds like a morbid case of, I don't know why she swallowed the fly, I guess she'll die. Okay, whatever.
No, the morbid thing is me in my boots in the back of the pickup shoveling that stuff out without a mask.
Yeah, okay.
I'm telling you, if I die of cancer, I know what it's from. chicken manure in Penryn, California. All right, Denise, tell us about Arkansas, what they're doing.
Well, they're banning state-funded human cloning. Anytime there's going to be a destructive embryo type research, they will not allow for there to be state funding of such research.
Okay, there you go. That is
definitely good, because the human clones coming out of Arkansas have really contributed to the glut on the market of available work. You know how many jobs people have lost because of Arkansonian human clones?
I just know an ex-president who's very sad about this. Very sad.
Okay. Hey,
I've got a good joke, but I don't know if I should say it.
I'm just afraid.
Hey, we're in Arkansas, so I think
we're not in Arkansas.
No, it's
because
not.
we did the case last week about the guy that got impaled by the deer antlers.
That's right.
And it wasn't. We didn't worry about it.
Well, then I guess we can talk about he can clone Monica Lewinsky over there.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll do that.
I did not have. Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else we got? Washington stops. This is something important. The state of
good.
Washington. Denise and I were talking about this during the break. Denise, it irritates me way back when they first started these gift cards. You had to use them within a year, and you know how many gift cards I didn't use because, doggone it, I forgot to get to it in time. But now Washington follows California, which already does this, which is what?
That you can't have gift card expiring. So no expiration dates on gift cards,
It's
period.
It's money in the bank.
Exactly.
Perfect sense.
No.
Now you got to use them before the store
goes out of business.
There you go.
So just to clarify a little, anytime you had purchased a gift card, regardless of state, that's money you paid for. It couldn't go away. But what they were doing was they were tacking on this inactivity fee. It's like, okay, yeah, we're not saying that the money goes away, but like having a balance too low in your bank account and then the bank starts to take fees. These gift cards were like, well, if you don't use them for a certain amount of time, it's not necessarily that it expired. It's just that we started to impose an inactivity fee that would ultimately zero out the card. And so they were
just wrong, man.
They were preventing that practice. Look, I can understand why a company would want to have
15 years from now, they bring a card to you.
Well, also because look, if you had this outstanding and you're trying to get an accurate balance sheet about what your debits are and what your assets are, and you've got,
because technically it's an outstanding loan almost.
Exactly. You've got 1 million cards out there that all have a balance of about $2 that haven't been used.
Well, you've got $2 million on which you can draw interest, and yet you're still trying to ding the consumer. Because
exactly. I understand why they want to have the clarity so they can know for their balance sheet. It's just that this is just garbage.
There is an exception to this in Washington State.
And what's that?
And the exception is that it doesn't apply to the loyalty type of cards or the reward cards. Like you have like a select card that you can use at McCormick and Schmick's, right? And you get so many points and it builds up, and then when you can use those points as money, those can still expire.
And that makes sense to me because you're not putting any cash down up front, right?
That's just something that they have given you. Nice of them to leave the way for the store to nail the people that they are giving rewards and loyalty. Thank you for being loyalty, and thank you for allowing us to take those loyalty points away.
Smack across the face.
Hey, according to MarketWatch, $1 billion in gift cards go unused every year. $1 billion in gift cards go.
There was a local merchant in my hometown who was putting out a plea on the radio. If you have an old gift card that you won in a contest from us, please come and use it. Let us get it off the books before January, before our taxes come due, which is pretty interesting. You must have a lot of them sitting.
As a Finder.com says, Americans have left $45 billion in unused gift cards as of December 11th, 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one for Olive Garden. Anybody in?
Sure. Well, Todd will be if he wins case or no case.
Well, let's think about this. Let's say somebody buys somebody gets a $25 gift card, right? $25 gift card, and at the end there's $2.50 left on that $25 gift card. They never use it, and it goes away. Well, the company that sold them that $25 gift card just made 10% of their of the amount on it because they know you're not going to use it. It's a high likelihood that nobody's going to use a gift card once it gets below a certain amount, and they're just making money.
It's so true. Starbucks, I bet you, has lots of those gift cards out there.
Illinois is requiring diaper changing stations in restrooms because we're running low on time here. I want to get to the final things. And we talked about Georgia's tightening the child abuse registry requirements.
There's an exception to the Illinois law.
What's that?
Places that literally don't have children, like bars, they don't have to do it.
All right, join us third hour.
Go to the website, radiolawtalk.com. That's radiolawtalk.com.